Austin self-sabotaged himself.
Yeah, he seems to suffer from what I call an acute case of DAT,
And what's that?
dumbass tendencies.
Is that like, when folk used to say we young and dumb?
Oh, it's way beyond that.
Welcome to Clifford Woods.
Today we're going to be talking about Lifetime Network's reality-based TV series, Married at First Sight, season number 17, episode number 21.
But before we get into it, please like, share, and subscribe. Please click that notification button so you know when we upload new content. Give us a like, send us your comments, and let's get into it.
This episode begins with Becca packing up her belongings and getting ready to move out of the shared apartment with Austin. Lo and behold, the puppet master shows up, aka Claire.
And she started talking ish to
Started?
is
Started?
instigate a conversation.
No, she continued talking his. She didn't start. She asked Becca if she had talked to Austin, and she said yeah. But in terms of getting to an understanding, that didn't happen because Austin didn't understand why she was so upset about him meeting with
The
the
producer.
producer.
Now, I don't really get why he didn't understand that crucial point. She don't want the producer and him vibing. She doesn't want him to think that he and the producer could be friends. And for him to think that's unreasonable, I don't know what to tell the brother. Because clearly they had a conversation as it relates to the producer.
He could not have thought that in any real way optics of this would look good, especially 24 hours after he had made a decision to continue on with their marriage.
Because one thing she thought he would do is retreat and think hard and long about how they can sort of put this relationship back together, because she said she didn't want the relationship as it was right now. She wanted a different kind of relationship once the cameras went off. But instead, what does Austin do?
He wanted a different relationship too. One that involved him, producer, and his
Yeah, oh, is that what he wanted?
some weird kind of threesome going. The instigator Claire remind Becca that this happened 24 hours after he had said yes on decision day.
Becca said she's going to take a page out of Austin's playbook and just be in the moment.
Right, and she also mentioned that she wants an honest partner in the future. Next, we see Becca helping Emily to move her things out of her apartment with Brennan back into Emily's place. And Becca was a rock of sorts to Emily in helping her to get through and break up with Brennan. Becca was a confidant that she could lean on.
These people could say whatever they want. They're doing something different altogether.
Yeah, Emily, I think, admired Becca's strength, and I can understand that to a point. But Becca did actually say to Emily in the course of their conversation that she is not interested in getting back into the dating scene until she feels like she's ready to be a better partner.
Well, that part of that counsel, Emily should take to heart
Yeah,
and
yeah.
not, just do what she's accustomed to.
And she also offered Emily some really good advice. Moving forward in the future, make sure you set boundaries in their relationship. And that was good advice as far as
Right.
I was concerned.
Austin is with his roommate
His
because
old roommate,
he
Kyla.
has moved back into his house.
Right, right.
And he said that he was disappointed that they broke up.
Yeah, that they were about to get a divorce. He did own.
Yeah, but when she asked him if he had spoken to her and if he apologized, he said no.
Yeah, but he tried to, but he just never got to the apology part.
So I said self-sabotage. He knows the right thing to do, but he doesn't do it anyway.
A dumbass tendency. For her part, didn't want to hear all that foolishness. She just wants to disconnect because she is ultimately convinced that he doesn't understand. And from his end, he said to Kyla that this was the hardest time of his life. Well, when you self-sabotage and you are efficient at it, as efficient at it as he was, yeah, I would tend to agree with him.
It seemed like he was broken up about it, but again, I don't know how sincere that is.
just for the cameras.
Becca FaceTimes her friend
Marina.
Marina,
Hmm.
and Marina can't believe
Uh,
how this thing fell apart so quick.
yeah, she was very, very, I guess, disappointed and shocked, you know,
Yes,
the developments for sure.
yes.
Then Austin hooks up with his boys.
First thing out of one of their mouths is he
What'd
asked
you do,
them
man? What you do,
what
man?
he did. He probably had some past experience with his boys. They have experienced him in the midst of DAT. So basically, they know that he messed it up one way or the other.
And to his credit, again, he admitted it. You know,
And one of them, I think Eric asked them if this can be salvaged. She no longer wants to speak with him, and he thinks that it's done.
yeah. And Becca mentioned that hey, he's still focused on optics.
But again, shoulda, woulda, coulda. If she feels a kind of way about him, she's going to be going back and forth.
Went to some place with her girl Emily to some psychic
They
meeting.
went to some psychic meetings. The way tricks and dips can separate you from your money is astonishing. We're not sure what Becca is going to do on the after party. She seemed resolved and she seemed very sad and hurt. It'll work itself out, whether they end up together or not.
I don't think so. I think Becca is done. I think she's moved on. I think Austin is coming to the point where he understands that he's messed up and it's not salvageable in terms of his marriage and or relationship with Becca. So he's got to move on.
Yeah, and the future is before them. These are young, attractive people, so I'm sure their person is gonna come.
Deal with that acute case of DAT that he suffers from too.
Well, maybe you could hook up with the producer. That's an option. Her skill set is different from Beck.